Hey Jacob, how you doing?
Living the dream.
What's this spring like for you? Last year you came in, got some opportunities to learn and grow and develop. Now this year you're kind of looking for a little bit more from what I've heard. So what's this spring like for you?
This spring has been so exciting. Like my first time in competition with the other quarterbacks, and it's just been so excited to be finally into it. Last year was getting home from my mission, working on the scout team, and that was a blast. I enjoyed every moment. But now it's time to shine and just rock and roll.
What's that like in that group? Because there's talent there, there's experience there. It's not an easy battle for any of you guys because there's a lot of different people with different skill sets. So the competition, everybody says they like it, but it's got to be an interesting challenge.
Yeah, no, I think we have a really good quarterback unit as a whole. Every person brings their own talents and abilities, and what I really like is we learn from each other, and there's open feedback. No one's closed off from one another, so it's a super healthy competition. Even though there's obviously everyone wants to be the guy, and so everyone's got the back of their head, but it's a really healthy competition right now.
All right, let's go Mitch and then Hunter.
Yeah, Jacob, you mentioned when you're hopping on that you're living the dream. What does it mean just be here at BYU? Because I remember your recruitment, you grew up, dreaming of BYU, if I'm not mistaken. Just what does it mean to now be a BYU quarterback and competing to vie for that starting job?
I think sometimes I take for granted that I get to wake up every day and do something I love. And to be here finally at the university and the education and the football, it's literally living a dream that I've planned out since I was just a young kid. It was funny, my dad and I looked back, and since like third grade, we had every year mapped out all the way up to now. And it was cool to finally be here and to make dreams become a reality.
I talked a couple of weeks ago with Coach Roderick, and you mentioned that you've already learned the playbook already. What did you do last year in terms of the study and the workload that you took on with balancing school and football? Maybe just to walk us through what last year was like and the work you put in to learn that playbook.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy, getting here 2 days before school started in the fall semester and just getting thrown into the fire. What was awesome for me is to learn under Zach. I mean, obviously he was doing something right. He's going to be a first-round draft pick. And so just to be able to learn from him and just dive into the playbook. I know a lot of kids who graduated in my class are getting here now, and they're learning now. But I had a full season to learn from Baylor, from Jaron, from Zach, from Coach A-Rod, and just really take advantage of the opportunity to learn. And so I was able to dive into the playbook, and so it's almost now like I'm coming in as a veteran.
Jacob, if you could use a couple words to describe your playing style as a quarterback and kind of your strengths under center, what would those 2 words be?
I like to consider myself a smooth operator, cool, calm, and collective under pressure.
That's awesome. And then who have been some of the wide receivers that you've developed some chemistry with? I know we're just a little over a week into practices, but who are some of the guys that you've developed a relationship with and some chemistry with?
Man, it's hard to name them. I think just over the past spring and last year, I was able to work with almost every receiver and just build a personal relationship and also on the field. And obviously, I've got a tight relationship with Gunner. I played 2 years with him in high school, and it's like not even skipping a beat. But just every receiver, just to see them all grow and just build a relationship with each of the quarterbacks has been super special.
All right, Jared and then Mitch.
You mentioned something, Jacob, that I wanted to have you touch on a little bit more. Zach's set a standard now that's kind of back toward the BYU traditional standard maybe of being, an elite level quarterback and having that type of recognition. Is that good and bad? Because, the expectations are pretty high, but also the attention for BYU quarterbacks are pretty high now as well.
I think Zach did an amazing job of putting BYU on the spotlight and as a whole team collectively last year. And I think it's wrong for each of the quarterbacks to think there's an expectation. Obviously, we want this to be back to as quarterback university, QBU. But as soon as you try to meet expectations that aren't really there, then you're not really playing for anything real. And so I think it's just playing as a unit, playing as a team, trying to live that model like we had last year. We are one, love one another. And that's when everyone starts playing well. And that's why Zach had such an amazing year last year.
Jacob, maybe describe what it was like coming back physically from the mission. The outside narrative, as we all know, many people think that it's an advantage for BYU, but it takes time for you guys to get back into it. Just maybe physically, how was it coming back from serving a mission for the church?
Yeah, the mission body is a real thing, and it takes about 8 months to a year to finally feel 100%. I thought I felt good coming back, and there are little dinky injuries here and there, just normal mission things. But now I feel like my body's 100%. I've never felt in better shape than I am now. I can totally see that my mission body and now what I am now. It's been a cool difference to see.
What do you feel like in your mind you're going to have to do to maybe close the gap with guys like Baylor and Jaron, who are juniors, got a couple starts under their belts in their careers? You as a true freshman, what do you feel like you're going to have to do to try to be that week one starter against Arizona?
I think it's just going to take a lot of confidence in myself and also trusting the coaches to understand, each of us have talents and abilities, and it's going to be the one who takes charge of the team and is able to show the confidence that, even under pressure and in stressful situations, they can handle it.
All right, last question, Ben.
Everyone kind of will label quarterbacks as a dual threat or pro style. Is there a label on has there ever been a label on you as far as like style of quarterback that you've heard?
Yeah, I've been labeled a pro style quarterback, but I like to say I'm a pro style that can run if I need to.
Yeah, so that's my follow-up question. I was looking up just your athletic times for your Spark Combine, and I was actually impressed. You had like over a 100 Spark Combine. Is your athleticism underrated, do you feel?
I think it's like a sneaky speed. I think when I need to run, I had a few 100-yard rushing games in high school, and I don't think people sometimes didn't respect my running game. And so obviously I'm not here to just run the football. We've got some stud running backs who are here to do that. But it's really good that the defenses respect my legs as well.
Now, are you comfortable with zone reads and keeping and I mean, obviously you were in high school, but at the collegiate level, it's a little bit more physical, a little faster. Have you been able to become a little bit more comfortable with that at BYU?
Yeah, 100%. Especially going against the first team defense last year, I got live to look at it every day, and there's it's been a pretty good transition.